What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Lazy Girl World, and we are back talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 7, I believe, episode 7 of season 7, the final season. This one's called The Totally Excellent Adventures of Mac and the Deke. But before we get into talking about Mac and the Deke, if you are not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I know you want to see me again, hear me laugh at my own jokes. We'll have a great time. It'll be amazing. So go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell notification so you can get notified every time I upload. It'll be a great time. So we are still in this episode stranded in 1982. We see Mac is sad in a house, full-blown, gross-looking beard, sitting in a lazy boy chair, just drinking beer. But obviously we can understand why he's sad. Stranded in 1982. Obviously he's not from that time. Well, he is from that time, actually. That's around the time when he was born. Well, I guess he was born in 79 or 70s. But either way, his parents, he lost his parents. Chronocoms took him over, so naturally he's sad. So we see him get up so he can see if there's more beer around the house. There are boxes and bottles everywhere, so he's just been drinking and drinking. And he sees that he has been left a flyer for Swayze Bar, so he decides to go and check it out. Then we switch to this nerdy looking guy, has flowers, and he goes and gives them to this robot, and he was like, "I was thinking of you. These remind me of your eyes." Obviously before we pan, we don't know it's a robot, but we can assume it's a robot, okay? But it's a legit 1982 Star Trek robot or Star Wars robot. It's old. It's got the little red light that goes from side to side to side. Red beam face. Looks like Cyclops. So we realize it's Sybil because he calls her Sybil. So Matt goes to the bar. He's looking for Deke, and the lady's like, "You and everyone else is looking for Deke. Luckily for you, his band is coming up for an encore." So then we see the Deke Squad. His band's called the Deke Squad. So we see them come up and they sing a song, and he's passing off these songs as his own, but obviously he's just doing covers of songs. But the rest of his bandmates don't know that. So he introduces them to Mac, and we have one named Art Glass, we have a Pachinko, and we have a Cricket, he's the only one that's an actual band member that is not a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., or he's not trying to make them a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then we have the Chang twins, or Chang brothers. I'm assuming they're twins. I don't know. So then we go back. He takes Mac to the lighthouse, and we see that he's basically turned it into a party pad. There's a pool there, disco lights. It's a whole thing. So then Deke shows Mac Coulson. Coulson died in that last episode. He got blown up when he tried to blow up himself and the hunters, but obviously he didn't successfully blow up Sybil. He successfully blew up the hunter robot bodies that they had there, but not Sybil. So when Coulson's talking to Mac, he's like, "I'm assuming that just like I escaped, she escaped some way." So Coulson ended up on a hard drive. Sybil, he felt like she had slipped through power lines or something, so he kept seeing these power spikes, and he's like, "Every time I see the power spikes, it spits out this data," which was, I guess, Chronicom language, because it didn't look like anything to me. Although they're going to show me ones and zeros, they did not, so very confused. But yeah, so Coulson tells Mac that he is assuming that Sybil is building more hunters. And we really don't know about that at this point in time, but we can assume that, yeah, sure. So then immediately hands to Sybil, and we see her working on another robot that looks exactly like her, except for the other ones don't have the hands, because the nerdy guy gave her real working hands. So she's working on another one, and he's like, "Sybil," the nerdy guy's like, "Sybil, what are you doing?" And I thought it was enough for you. Apparently he really liked this robot. And she's like, "Oh yeah, you served your purpose." And how depressing is that for you to be like, "I love this robot." And then the robot's like, "I don't love you." And then she actually had one of the other hunter robots that she built get rid of him, if you know what I mean. So then we see Deke, you know, he's like super impressed with the Deke squad that he's put together, this team he's put together, except for Cricket, obviously, because Cricket's the only bandmate that only plays, you know, the drums. Like, he's not trying to be part of S.H.I.E.L.D. So he's super excited. He's like, let me show you the gauntlet. And Mac's just kind of like, okay, don't really care about that. And they do a lot of paintball shooting and rolling around. They're throwing explosive on the wall. Chain Brothers came in and one of them tripped and hit one of the other teammates with friendly fire from the paintball gun. And then Mac was like, what are we doing here? This is dumb and this is stupid and a waste of time. You guys have been down here playing. Why did you bring me out of my house? I personally was wondering the same thing. Like, what are you doing with these paintball guns or paintball sprays all over the wall? Obviously, they miss tons and tons and tons of times. Just a ton of times. Like, it was a gross amount of times that they missed. And obviously, they didn't do it this time either because friendly fire. So they still didn't blow up whatever their target was. But Deke was super excited about it. And so then, obviously, Mac is like, this is a waste of time. But Deke's like, you know, it's not over yet. I got something for you. And so he goes and, like, you know how they always have, like, special things behind special walls. So he goes behind this special wall and he shows him, like, this. It's like reminiscent of the weapon that Mac used to have in like a couple of seasons before. So he has this like super cool, like clear, iridescent, like shotgun with an axe head attached to it. So that way he can like shoot stuff and cut stuff all at the same time. It looks super cool to me. And Mac's like, I don't want that crap. Obviously he's still sad. He's still in mourning. He's grieving his parents. He's stuck in 1982. Okay, you know. It's a lot to go through. It's a lot to deal with. So Mac and Deke end up getting an argument. Mac's like, you are just some silly little boy playing Peter Pan. I guess he never wants to grow up. I didn't really get why he called him Peter Pan. He's like, you just acting like Peter Pan, putting together your little fake shield, just doing nonsense. And Deke is like, man, at least I'm trying over here and I didn't just give up and walk out on my teammates. Because Mac literally just left Deke to fend for himself. So that's why he came up with this little S.H.I.E.L.D. situation. Deke wanted him to be band leader. Mac's like, I won't be anybody's leader. In fact, let me go home. So we see then that the robots, I don't know why I did that, but the robots break into the lighthouse. And we see like a finger like So obviously Sybil's the only one with hands, so she's like doing like this, like, come on, follow me. So the Chronocoms break into the lighthouse, and Cricket and his like girlfriend hear something. So Cricket's like, it's probably those chain twins being peeping Toms. So he's like, we'll find them, we'll show them. So he has like I don't know if it was a baseball bat or a piece of wood, but apparently he was gonna hit them. Honestly, I don't think that was gonna do anything to them. But he sees a robot and his girlfriend's like, oh, look at it, it's so cute. Cricket calls him like a dumb robot. And obviously it's a Chronocom. So he took offense to the dumb robot comment and he got rid of him, if you know what I mean. Then Cricket's girlfriend runs away screaming. And then Mac and Glass happen upon a Chronocom robot. And it just starts like trying to get them immediately, so they run away. Cricket's girlfriend finally happens upon Deke and the Chain Brothers and Pachinko, and she's like, ah! I don't think she says anything. I think she says like Cricket's dead, and they're like, what are you talking about? Silly girl. Well, she had like, you know, blood on her face, so they knew what she was talking about. But then the Chronocom like snatches her, gets rid of her too, if you know what I mean. And Pachinko tries to fight the robot and she gets kind of beat up by a robot, but you know, that's okay. She did her best. So then Mac and Glass come out and they defeat the robot that was trying to get them. And then, you know, they're all like, oh man, robots have invaded the lighthouse, we gotta do something. So Mac goes and gets his little weapon. Obviously he's super stoked about it. He cuts off his beard, puts a little headband around his head. He looks like full-blown Rambo in a jumpsuit. He's got the shoulders torn off like he is Rambo. And he looks great because he doesn't have that stupid beard on his face. He's not wearing those stupid tight pants. I hate those pants. So glad they got rid of them. Okay? I don't know what I would do if I saw people walking around in those right now. I would be like, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. So we see they're like trying to figure out like, well, why are the Chronocoms in the lighthouse? And so Coulson and Deke bring up a good point, like, well, you know, we think that they lost the time stream when I blew it up, and that's probably why they're still here in 1982. And so we do see like a little robot hand find the time stream and, you know, starts walking away with it or rolling away with it, because these were not walking robots, they were on wheels. They did not have the legs yet. And then they start, you know, fighting all the other Chronocom robots that are in the lighthouse. So then Sybil comes out of nowhere and uses her little eye band like Cyclops and like shoots a laser at Pachinko, hits Pachinko, and then the Chain Brothers are like, we didn't sign up for this. And I'm gonna be honest, if a robot with the Cyclops eye came out and shot a laser at anyone else, I too would be like, I actually didn't sign up for this, you know. That's perfectly okay, just being like in S.H.I.E.L.D., but not for real, and just, you know, being in a band. Like, even if you stole the song Deke, I'd still be okay, you know, just being in a band. But I'm not here for all of this. I'm not here for the laser rocks with the robots, with the killer robots. I'm not about to do that. So they ran away, just like I would have run away. I wouldn't have made it in S.H.I.E.L.D. at all. Then they start fighting Sybil. You know, they do, they basically run the gauntlet thing that they tried to run initially on and show Mac. And this time it actually works. They blow up Sybil. She blows up into a million pieces. And then they're like, they search the White House for the rest of the Chronocoms, and they are like, they're nowhere to be found. And then we see obviously all the other robots have escaped, and that the time stream, there's like a little arm rolling around with the time stream in its hand. So they have also gotten the time stream away as well. So obviously it's like, y'all kind of fought the robots, but you didn't really win. Not really, if they now have a time stream, because now with the time stream they can jump wherever they want to. So, but that is why you know, they're still in 1982, because they did not have the time stream. So, you know, that's good on both sides. But now they have the time stream, and now it's about to be all bad. But at least for a little bit, they were on equal footing. After they've beaten Sybil and all the other robots are gone, the Chain Brothers come back and they're like, we're sorry that we ran away. We shouldn't have done that. We're sorry, we're cowards. And Deke's like, yeah, it's okay. I already knew you were cowards. I knew you didn't like fighting. So, but I forgive you guys. And they all hug, and it's like, oh, yay. And so, you know, now S.H.I.E.L.D. is back with just Coulson as a hard drive on a computer, on a TV screen. You know, he doesn't have his body yet. They're just literally rolling him around like somebody in ATV club, just rolling around Coulson so he can talk to everybody. But at least he had a face on the screen. We have Mac, we have Deke. Mac has decided to be the leader again, even though he didn't want to, probably now because he has a cool weapon. And Pachinko's still there, and Glass is still there. So what is that? Mac, Deke, Coulson, Pachinko, Glass, Chain Brothers. So there's now 7 of them in 1982 acting as S.H.I.E.L.D. We see Deke and Mac across the street from a house, and turns out it's actually where Deke lives as a child. And they see that their Uncle Marcus is taking care of them. You know, Deke has been, did I say where Deke lives? Where Mac lives. Deke has been checking up on Mac and his brother Reuben, you know, since they lost their parents. And Deke like asks him like, oh, you know, how was my brother doing? Which confirms that it's kind of like a new timeline. And Mac does not have both the old timeline memories and the new timeline memories. All he has is the old timeline memories, and he knows that his parents are dead. But it's not like, since the timeline's changed and he's a child, he's now having like the memories of like everything that he's done with his parents, and now everything that he's doing with his Uncle Marcus. So that's actually pretty interesting to me, because I definitely thought it was going to be like a double timeline in my brain type of thing, and trying to reconcile those two. But maybe they felt like that would be too much. But I felt like it would have made everything cooler. I don't know. That's just me. I like timeline, sci-fi, time travel type situation. So, you know, that's what I thought was awesome about it. We see May and Yo-Yo about to get off the Zephyr. And Simmons is like, you guys have 27 days to get back here. I don't know why it was such a specific time, but 27 days to get Mac, come back. So they go and they fly and to their coordinates, which is the lighthouse, obviously. And it turns out it's actually been 20 months since they got stranded in 1982. So it is no longer 1982, more than likely 1983. Yeah, it's 1983, 1984, but definitely not 1982. So they've been there for a while. So Mac was sad for almost 2 years, just in another land, in another timeline, isolating himself, you know, grieving over his parents. And that most definitely would have been me, like, oh God, no. What can I do? I'm stuck in another year. A year of tight pants. I don't know what to do with myself. But you know, obviously he came to the shield and got better. And then, so in the end, you know, Yo-Yo and May reunite with everybody with the new shield in 1982. And then we see this robot arm just holding that time stream, just going all over the place, Runs into the back of a leg. Somebody turns around, picks it up. We see it's Nathan Malik. Apparently he's still alive and he didn't quake himself apart. And then he turns around, he talks to Sybil. Somehow, even though she was in the robot, she was able to get herself out of the robot and get herself on the TV screen, just on a hard drive, just like Coulson. So now she's still alive, and I guess she's still going to be making more hunters. She tells Nathan Malik, oh, now you will be able to, you know, essentially take over the world. Even though Nathan wasn't even trying to take over the world at first. That's the crazy part. That's what his dad wanted, and maybe that's what his other brother wanted, or his brother wanted. But ever since he found out that Daisy had powers, you know, hooked up with Whitehall, now he wants powers, hook up with Whitehall, world domination, work with the Chronicoms. Well, actually, technically, he was working with the Chronicoms last episode too. So, but he's still working with the Chronicoms. So, we'll see how that goes. But that is the rundown of the totally excellent adventures of Mac and the D. So I'm excited to see what year we go into next. Because technically, it hasn't been like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So. You know, because these 2 years were both, or this episode and last episode were in the 80s. We had a couple, like 2 episodes in the 50s, I believe, or in the 70s. So we'll see if we go into the 90s or if we just go a little bit further into the 80s. Maybe we go into early 2000s. I'm kind of impatient for them to get back to like the year 2020 or whatever year it is in the actual TV show. I'm impatient. Like I said last time, I want to see Fitz. But on the preview, we did get to see that Yo-Yo goes to Jiayang to help with her. So we come back pretty close. So I'm assuming, no, not the 90s, maybe not the 90s. We'll probably go into the 2000s. So that's super exciting. I guess like 2000 and, what would it be? 2020 minus 7, 13. So maybe like 2013, 14, somewhere around there. It'll be exciting. I'm super excited to have Jiayang back. She was a great actor or actress. And yeah, that was probably like one of the most sad storylines was, you know, her dying and her husband having to stop her. So yes, like I said, that's all for episode 7 or 8 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts were, and I will see you guys next time when we are talking about Jiaying and Yo-Yo getting her superpowers back. All right, bye.